Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to be drawing some Kingdom Hearts art, all based on what you guys wanted to see. Everything that I'm drawing today came from comments. So today, first thing that I'm drawing is we're going to be finishing up a piece that I started during my last live stream, which is Kairi with her grandma in the world of Coco. I've already got all of the flat colors laid in, so I'm going to be basically adding all the dimension in the background today. And then I have another piece planned, which I'll show you guys the sketch of and what I have so far, which is going to be Sora in the land of Sugar Rush from Wreck-It Ralph. So he's going to have a race car behind him, and he's in the style of the Sugar Rush characters. But that'll be for after we finish this piece. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to probably go to Kairi's skin, and we're going to start adding in the dimensions. So right now it's kind of a lighter tone. Or sorry, it's the shadow tone. We can color select, make it a little bit more yellow and a little bit more bright. And then I'm going to use my airbrush to dust on a little bit of wherever the light would hit it. What's up? How are you guys doing? I can see your chat, so let me know. All right, but yeah, so I am going back and forth between the two different colors, the shadow shade and sort of this brighter color to add dimension to her face. Basically gonna completely shadow in the nose. You've also been drawing, Kairi, today. Hi, English Hedgehog, how you doing? Hi, Nicole, how you doing? Propping my phone on a bag of Keef, awesome. What were you drawing today, English? What was your Kairi drawing? All right, I got the airbrushing done there, so I'm going to put a new layer. I'm going to clip it to the skin layer, and then I'm going to use my pen to just drop in a little bit of kind of a highlight on the nose. And yeah, you guys will see me draw a line and undo. That's very normal for watching me draw. If you want, you can message me Tumblr after the stream. Yeah, message Tumblr. Yep. Mine's the same username here, so yeah, just let me know. All right, and then I'm gonna go between those two layers. I'm gonna do an overlay, airbrush. We're gonna select a very pink color, and we're gonna make it super intense first. It's gonna look very unnatural, but then we're gonna tone it down by bringing down the opacity. Usually bring it down to about 35%. Back up, see how you like it. I do have the eraser tool that I'm going to take, and you can choose whether it's hard or soft. Soft treats it more like an airbrush. I'm just going to erase a little bit of that pink towards the top of the nose, just so that the tip is more pink and the top is less pink. And then I think I'm somewhat happy with it. I want to add a little bit more pink to the cheeks. I feel like those aren't pink enough. Yeah, hey Abel, how you doing? Twitter and Instagram. Okay, so technically I do have both of those. I'm not active on either though. Instagram for me, it's just not my favorite way to share photos. So I'd share photos a lot more on Tumblr, and Blue Sky is where I am most active, is Tumblr and Blue Sky. All right, and then she doesn't have any lips yet, so why don't we give her some lips? I'm gonna just color drop that pink color that I have on her nose. I'm gonna make it more and just a little deeper for the lips. Oh yeah, and actually while I'm here, I have the comments. So yeah, I just turned it on right above my head. But yeah, I have the comments actually screenshotted where these were asked for. So yeah, that's the comment right there asking for Kairi and her grandma, which there was more in that request. I have them all written down. Again, if you guys want to see anything, just let me know, because I do go through the chat afterwards to write down any ideas that you guys have. some popular ideas we were talking about last time was some Cinderella and Aurora, and also Tara and Cinderella. Someone said they just wanted to see Xion happy, and I vibe with that as well. All right, so those are lips. We can just add a little dimension since we are here anyways. So I'm going to select a very bright pink, airbrush in, just a little on the bottom lip where the light would be hitting. At the top lip doesn't get much light. Yeah, you're still back in Terra Cinderella. Awesome. Mushroom Kingdom? Yeah, definitely some Kingdom Hearts X Mario, Kingdom Hearts X Zelda I want to do. I already did just one Kingdom Hearts X Naruto. Want to do some other animes too. Someone was talking about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Also, I want to see Hunter x Hunter X Kingdom Hearts. I think that would be awesome. All right, so that's her face pretty much done. I do have the sketch layer up here. I'm going to turn that off for a second. We can pull away. I'm going to look at the rest of her skin, and then we can start adding in the light to the rest. Color drop that bright color right there and use my airbrush on her arms here. I'm going to start with this right arm that's closer to us, and then I can erase right here to clean it up so that her other arm isn't affected. Yeah, how many of you guys in the chat, I mean, I assume a lot of you have played Kingdom Hearts. Is there anyone that hasn't played Kingdom Hearts? Only ever watched. All right. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of games in the Kingdom Hearts series that I've only watched, like 358 over 2 days and Chain of Memories. I've never played that myself. Oh, yeah, Becca. I know you haven't played it. I'm going to get you to play it. But yeah, no, there's a couple games definitely that I haven't played, mainly just because they weren't on a console that I had. So definitely the manga is also a good option, or yeah, just watching someone else play them. I really like the manga for Chain of Memories. That's my preferred way to kind of consume that story. Only ever seen the first one. Well, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 go together really well. All right, I just realized there's really nothing besides the background here behind her hand, so I'm going to go on a new layer behind her skin. We're going to select just a slightly darker color than the shadow color, because this is an even deeper shadow. I'm just going to pencil that in back there. There we go. Well, yeah, and I would really, really like to play 358 over 2 days. I think the story's really good. And I love Xion, and I think I would like her and Roxas even more if I could play as them during that story, and I just haven't been able to yet. Not saying I never will, definitely holding out hope. Just currently not. Currently it's not in the works. I do have a playthrough going right now. Excuse me. I do have a test playthrough going right now of Kingdom Hearts 1, where I'm basically trying to beat the game. I want to practice it just to make sure it's possible, and then I want to live stream it. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1, basically seeing if I can have Donald and Goofy beat the game for me. I know it is possible, but there's certain fights that have been questioned during other people's runs, so yeah, I want to answer those questions. Yeah, so far it's going good. So far I've actually beaten all the fights. Excuse me. I've beaten all the fights that I had questions about so far. There was one fight where I had to use Sora that I didn't think I would need to. It was the card battle in Alice in Wonderland world. I didn't think I would have to use Sora during that. I thought Donald and Goofy could beat the tower. Turns out they can't. So I'm going to do a little bit more testing with that one because I really don't want to use Sora at all if I don't have to. All right. So yeah, we're just adding a little bit of highlight to the legs. It's going to stop at the knees and then just lightly touch the calves. And then I usually like, when it's a round thing like a leg, sometimes a little edge highlight on the opposite side. And then we're going to erase over here so that it doesn't affect the other leg. All right, pretty happy with those legs. Arms are good and simple. Let's combine everything so that we keep it neat. All right, and then we got the boots. Let's go on to the boots. So yeah, this Kairi, if you're not familiar with this Kairi, or if you didn't see the last live stream, this is based on a design for Kingdom Hearts 4 Kairi that Holly Polly did. Holly Polly's a really good Kingdom Hearts artist. I mean, this is an example of her art right here. And yeah, no, she's just, I call her the GOAT. She's awesome. And I really, really dig this design in particular, so I chose to use it for this concept. I figure, you know, Kairi might meet her grandma in Coco World in Kingdom Hearts 4, so why not use this design? One challenge you made on KH1 is not only beat the game without dying, but also with the Kingdom Key, and never let my party die on Proud. Wow, how'd you do? Did you do it? You did it? You did it, I assume. That's really tough. I actually don't play on Proud. If I ever play on a hard difficulty, it'll be critical. I kind of just skip right over Proud. Although for KH1, I forget if it even has critical. I haven't touched any of the hard modes on Kingdom Hearts 1 in a while. I'm just bouncing back and forth between standard and beginner for testing reasons and for fun. All right, let's get back to the drawing. So back to the boots. Excuse me. So yeah, we're going to go back to our airbrush, and we're going to do this. Obviously, they were black boots with kind of leather sheen, so we're going to do like kind of a light purpley blue. Did that years ago. Nice. All right, that's not bright enough, I don't think. Oh, no, I'm on the eraser, that's why. All right, airbrush on a brighter color that's kind of more purple. And then we're going to really hit the tops of the shoes, because that's where a lot of the light would be hitting. Yeah, no, I've never really done like a proper challenge run of a video game, so this is kind of one of my first. But I'm definitely interested in trying challenge runs for the Kingdom Hearts games, mainly Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and also Final Fantasy X, because that's my favorite Final Fantasy game. Plus the combat. I mean, there's so many different ways to handle it, but also kind of so many restrictions around it, depending on what the bosses can do and what they're immune to. So yeah, no, I just find strategy in Final Fantasy X really fun. Speaking of Final Fantasy X, that's what we're listening to right now. We're listening to Final Fantasy X, but as well as other Final Fantasies throughout 7 and 9, as well as Kingdom Hearts music. All right, just doing the same thing I did on that one leg. We're just adding a little bit of an edge light onto the backs of the shoes. We're going to do another clip layer, and I'm going to add on just a different color for the soles. Not necessarily brighter or darker, just kind of a different tone. More gray, more blue. We're just going to differentiate the soles. And then I can also change this color to be even darker if I want to, which I'm thinking that right now. If any of you guys played Final Fantasy, does anyone have favorite Final Fantasies in the chat? I'm gonna shapen up this boot a little bit. It's a little janky down here. Only beaten 7. Love it though. Yeah, no, 7's really good. I want to go back to the original since the remakes came out. I have gone actually. I've started a couple of plays of the original. But for some reason I keep putting them down. I think I just keep getting interested in playing something else. But yeah, no, I do want to get through 7 again because I haven't experienced it since before the remakes started coming out. All right, those boots are looking nice. What else has she got on her boots? She's got these laces up the sides, kind of a strap and a buckle, and then also some more straps and buckles down there. I probably have those in the sketch. We're going to turn that back on. Yeah, no, I mean, with you'd love to watch a playthrough with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming to PC. I've definitely thought about getting it. I've been trying to think of some sort of challenge runs, because really there's not too many people doing challenge runs of Final Fantasy VII yet. Or at least Rebirth yet. I'm sure there are some, but like I've been looking on YouTube and I haven't really found many. All right, we're going to add a strap there. Gets a little harder to see down there, but that's fine. We can always clean that up. All right, and then strap there. And again, we can clean up the edges, so I'm not too worried that it's kind of flaring out a little bit there. Playing through 7 without noticing homoeroticism between Cloud and Sephiroth, impossible. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, like, I grew up, obviously, I mean, we all love Kingdom Hearts, that's why we're here. And if you know that Lance Bass voiced Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts, and I thought that was really cool. It kind of changed Sephiroth in my eyes as like a young kid, knowing that he was voiced by kind of a gay icon. And so I always saw Sephiroth in turn as kind of a gay icon. And plus, I mean, who's not envious of his hair? That guy's in drag. All right, but yeah, so I'm adding in the flat color for the straps, and then we're going to add in... All right, just seeing what the straps are doing there. But yeah, we're going to add in the dimension, like always, after we have the flat color in. Close to do with 7 is only the Buster Sword, but mostly because it feels wrong to me changing it from a different sword while knowing... Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I've definitely, like... Is there... There's not a setting that allows you to... No, okay, no. I already know. So yeah, I'm getting confused with a setting that you can do in Final Fantasy 16 where you can choose the stats of a weapon, but you can keep the look of a different weapon. And I really wish that that was a thing in Final Fantasy 7 because of the Buster Sword. And I'm pretty sure it's not, and I don't know why it would be if it was in Final Fantasy 16. It's a really good idea that they had that they just didn't carry through, I guess. But yeah, no, I am still going just lightly through my playthrough of Final Fantasy 16. It's my first one. I never played it before. So far, it's really good. But yeah, no, I'm just kind of going through it slowly. I got through a lot of progress in 1 week, and then I still haven't really gone past. I'm in the desert now, if any of you have played. I don't even know how far that is through. I know I haven't gotten... I think I've only gotten less than half of the abilities, so that's how I'm measuring my progress. And based on that, I think I'm less than halfway through the story. All right, so those straps are down there. We're going to add in 2 more straps up at the top here really quickly. So fast, so sloppy, doesn't matter. So we can clean it up just as fast. I would love, so this song that's playing right now is the Enchanted Dominion song, the world of Sleeping Beauty in Birth by Sleep. I would love that world to come back, mainly because I love this music, but also because I love Sleeping Beauty, I love Aurora, and I really want Cinderella, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty to come back. For me, they're very classic. Like when I think of like the Disney princess, that's, those are the 3 that I think of. I really want their worlds to come back. I was kind of sad that Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't really have too many returning worlds. It's mainly just Olympus Coliseum, and otherwise it was all new. But then ironically, the last and final world wasn't really that new. I mean, sure, you had Scala at Kayam, but the Keyblade Graveyard before that was not new, and I would have liked a brand new, fully fleshed out, just as big as every other world, final world. Alright, we're gonna hide the sketch and then add in just a little bit more refined detail. I have the light on the edge here with the airbrush, but it looks, you know, flat. So we're gonna add in this dark with a very, very tiny airbrush. Just where the straps would kind of be meeting. So Abel, if you play Final Fantasy VII, which team are you on? Team Aerith or Team Tifa? Team Sephiroth. Okay, yeah, no, definitely. That makes sense. Should have guessed. Already knew that. I found the Sephiroth fight in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth really difficult. I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say because like it seems like they're giving it to you every time. Remake and Rebirth both have Sephiroth fights in them. Go with Tifa. Yeah, no, I am Team Tifa myself. I love Aerith, but like not for Cloud. I love her for Zack, even though he's dead because you know she's dead too. But yeah, no, I found the Sephiroth fight in Rebirth really difficult. I played the whole game on normal mode. My first playthrough, I thought about easy mode just because I like fun. But I went with normal mode, and I was just really disappointed in the end. I had to switch it down to easy for Sephiroth. I tried it, and it was like midnight, and it was a work night, and I had to go. So I had to turn it down to easy so that I could finish. Otherwise, I was gonna have to reset more progress than I wanted to. I still got to go back and try it on normal mode, though. Especially, I mean, New Game Plus will make that a breeze. All right, so yeah, those are the boots pretty much done. Actually, no, the soles are flat. It'll take 2 seconds to add some dimension. So yeah, we're going to make them super dark, and then we're going to add in a bright. There we go. Much better. All right, let's combine all those so that we keep everything as neat as possible. I don't want too many layers cluttering up. Yeah, let's combine the straps as well. And then ruffle time, ruffle skirt time. So yeah, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. Let's color drop right from Holly Polly's photo. We got the dark color, so I'm just going to make sure that the ruffle skirt is already that color. And then we're going to select the bright color. Very light pink. Actually, I kind of want it less light than that. And then I'm just going to select it myself. Make it a little bit more rosy pink. All right, so then we can start laying in each layer of the ruffles. I'm going to start out with the bottom one. No, I'm going to start out with the top one. So I can start off being pretty not neat, pretty sloppy. Just want to choose my airbrush size, something that's kind of moderate. All right, just for adding in where the light would be hitting these ruffles. And then I can erase to kind of make it look like the edge of a skirt. And then I'm going to make a new layer and do the exact same thing. So let's see, next layer of the skirt would probably be somewhere around here if there's going to be 4 total. Let's make that ruffle like extra bright. And then also kind of getting brighter towards the end of the skirt and sort of darker towards where it would be underneath that other layer. All right, and then again, we're gonna Just kind of erase. And I think that looks good. I can also turn my eraser soft and sort of touch the top here to make sure that it really goes into shadow where it would be underneath that second layer. Or sorry, where it would be underneath that top layer. All right, same thing, third layer of the skirt. And then we're actually going to go around to this side too, because I imagine it would be showing over here. And then make the eraser hard. I'm just kind of going in a scalloping motion to erase the edge of that. All right, and then same thing, gonna make it soft once more, touch it to the top. I kind of don't like that this is like sort of scalloping the opposite direction that I want, so I might, the second layer here, so I might actually redo that real quick. We're gonna make that invisible, and it's not gonna take long to redo that real quick, just because I didn't erase it. I don't think in a good way of changing my mind. All right, and then we can sort of scallop, yeah, this way. All right, that's 3 layers, just got 1 more to do. This is the easiest one because all we got to do is just make sure the light's hitting where we want it to, and then we don't even have to erase the bottom. We can just sort of softly erase the top to make sure that it looks like it's going underneath this third layer. And then before I post these, sometimes I do add a little extra detail. So I did post the one that I did during my last live stream today. Basically, it was Pirates of the Caribbean Kairi, if she went to the Pirates of the Caribbean world. And yeah, no, I just made sure that it looked extra good. So yeah, don't worry if you guys ever see me doing something like that you think is wrong here. I'm going to look at it later and it's going to be posted looking good. But yeah, during these live streams, I do try to go just a little fast because I'm not trying to sit here and dilly-dally. So let's see, soft eraser. There we go. Those are some ruffles. All right, combine everything. Keep it neat. All right, so we got the skirt bottom layer. Now we've got the skirt top layer where it's more of that sort of leathery material. So I'm just going to color drop from my boots since I already kind of have that material worked there. I'm going to select my airbrush. I'm going to do the edge. And then I can also select this dark color. That way I can sort of work on blending, making everything softer if I decide I want it to be. No, I'm really hoping, what Final Fantasy remakes are you guys hoping for? Because Final Fantasy VII Remake really opened the table, or laid out the table, opened the door. Either way, I'm hoping for a Final Fantasy IX remake because, I mean, I've never played Final Fantasy IX all the way through. Heard it's really good. I really want to play it all the way through. I've played at least the first disc. Can't remember how far I got after that. But yeah, no, it's really good. I just kind of want more. I want a remake. Yeah, the music is also super solid. That's what we're listening to right now. It's something from Final Fantasy IX. All right, so that skirt really didn't take too much work. I mean, I know it's, you know, she's got a lot more going on. She's a lot better of an artist than I am. But for my purposes, I like to keep things pretty simple. And you know what? That skirt's looking pretty good to me. I can always add more detail later. But we're going to move on for right now. So we're going to combine that. Let's see. What do we have next? Well, those are her eyes. The whites of her eyes. All right, so yeah, I always select sort of a off-white here, but I do always then go in with airbrushing in a true white just on the bottom to make it look like there's more of a shadow at the top of her eyes, and then her eyes are bright down there. While we're on her eyes, may as well do the actual blue of her eyes as well. So yeah, the base shade is very royal blue. I'm going to select a very bright aqua blue, and we're going to use the airbrush to kind of put that near the pupil. And then I can select that royal blue again, go even deeper, maybe make it slightly more purple, and just kind of lightly dust the top. And then let's add some highlights, some sparkle in her eyes. So I'm going to do one there, do a little small one right in the pupil, and then kind of a big one at the bottom of her eye. Awesome. I think that looks great. All right, so then that's her bottom half pretty much done, her face done. Now we can move on to her shirt and her hair, and then that'll be Kairi. Then we can move on to the grandma. Let's see, shirt. There's one sleeve. Let's do that real quick. I have her sleeves on 2 different layers, so this is the one that's behind the rest of her shirt. Again, I'm just going to select right from Holly Polly's drawing right there. Also, there's Holly's art, Holly's signature. I just want to really show off her as an artist because I'm a big fan, and you know, she's a big inspiration obviously for this design. So just want to make sure I'm giving her all the credit that she deserves. All right, yeah, I'm basically just going to lay in this bright color with the airbrush where all the light would be hitting it, leaving these kind of lines in between for like wrinkles in the clothing where her sleeves would probably be a little rolled up. And then, yeah, same thing. I can add a little bit of an edge light if I want, which I'm going to play around with. And then I might even make this more pink because, yeah, this is a little bit, it's reading more white than I kind of want it to. All right, and then yeah, once you back up, that looks a lot better. Up close, you can get so involved in the details. But yeah, once you back up, looks pretty nice. Always support adding more pink, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of secretly, like, it's kind of been my wish that for Kairi, they would move back to some purple, since she had a lot of purple in her design in Kingdom Hearts 1. But I mean, pink's cool too. I like pink is like this background color here. This is my favorite color. My favorite color is pink. So I'm definitely on board with pink. I'm just greedy and I want a bunch of clothes for Kairi. I kind of low key wish they would bring back dress spheres from Final Fantasy X too, and give me a whole bunch of looks for every different kind of class. I think it's another reason why I like drive forms so much in Kingdom Hearts 2 is because it's also fashion. It's also just an outfit change. All right, yeah, that's that part of the sleeve. So now we can do the exact same thing on this one, except it's in the foreground. And then I'm going to use a really big airbrush to softly bring it across the whole top of the arm, as well as the edge here. And let's see, if the light's hitting her from above, then it would probably, excuse me, probably be hitting the top of the shoulder here as well. Kind of gradienting down. And then I can also select the shadow color and use that to blend. Yeah, no, next up I kind of want to draw, I already have a sketch laid out of something that someone had asked for last time, which it was something that someone had asked for, but I already had the sketch, so it kind of seems meant to be, which is Kairi in Aerith's outfit and Shion in Tifa's outfit. I really want to do that probably on the next live stream. But yeah, I also have a bunch of other suggestions that I have written down that I got to go through to choose out which ones I'm going to sketch out next. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Let's see. I can add a little bit more bright to right here. Cause yeah, this is kind of where I might add a little bit more shadow right there to kind of differentiate the armpit from the bust area. But right under the bust is where probably more light would be hitting this sweater where it's kind of flaring out. Yeah, ever since I started coloring like this, where I kind of start with the dark color and then I just focus on adding in the light, for me it feels a lot more natural. I feel like my lighting has improved since I started coloring this way. So yeah, if any of you are artists and you like to draw, you know, try around with how you color things in the order of operations. All right, let's see. One more layer, clip it to the shirt, and then we're gonna select kind of a darker shadow shade and differentiate where that arm ends and where the sweater kind of continues. I can also use my airbrush. Kind of like that shadow color, so I'm going to airbrush along where her hairline is, kind of where some shadow might be hitting it. And then I'm also going to use that color as sort of a, yeah, we're going to do like a little seam there. Yes, that way we also get a little bit of perspective. Let's see, I can see on Holly's design, she's also got a seam here going around where the ruffles are. So why don't I just add that? All right. So yeah, that's my take. Let's see. I can add some solid lines around the sleeve ruffles. I think I'm going to do that real quick. Just kind of roughing it up, make sure that the idea of wrinkles is really sold. You know, with visual art, it's all up to you to represent what's there, and if sometimes you need lines. I usually don't like working with lines. I like working with just color if I can, but yeah, sometimes you need to add in the lines. And for wrinkles, when I backed up, those lines added so much to those wrinkles. All right, sorry, I'm just geeking out. All right, let's combine all of that. So now all of the shirt is on one layer. And let's see, we got Grandma on the layers there, so let's go to her hair layer. And then same thing, I'm going to do another layer on top and clip it to the layer below. This hair is already the really dark shade, so I'm going to select more of a red shade. And we're going to use that as well as a tapered pen, which is one that's thinner at the end and the beginning of its stroke. And I'm going to use that for hair. Really mimics hair strands really well. So let's see, we're going to start out with her bangs. How many of you guys want Kairi to continue with short hair? And how many of you guys want to see Kairi with long hair? I personally am in the boat of I just want to see her with like really long hair one time. Ooh, excuse me. All right, but yeah, so we're going to start out putting in these hair strands, and it's going to be this super bright red from top to bottom. But then I'm going to clip them so that we can make it darker towards the top. Hey Fitz, glad you could join for at least a little bit, thanks. And I'm aiming to get through this one and the Sugar Rush Sora today. But yeah, KH2 and KH2. I really want them to let us go to Destiny Island. Sorry, I just thought of that because of the song that's playing. This is the Destiny Islands theme that plays when you're there. And Destiny Islands was a world in Kingdom Hearts 1. It's my favorite. Sometimes This is true. Okay, so sometimes if I've had a hard day at work, I will go home and I will just go to Destiny Islands. Like, I will pull up Kingdom Hearts 1 and I'll just play around. I'll just go there, you know? It's a really good actual stress reliever. And like this song in particular, you know, it makes you feel like you're on the beach. Like you're really there. All right, but yeah, so this is all just the top layer of her hair. I'm not going to worry about going too far down yet. Just want to make sure that what I do does line up with how her hair is flowing. All right, so that's almost done. I just want to add in a couple like thinner lines just for detail. Another comic idea, which you're surprised no one else made. Data greeting of it, which Sora and Kairi are at the final world and are watching the near end of Thor Love and Thunder. If anyone has seen the movie, you know what I mean. I've seen the movie, but only once, and honestly, I gotta say I was maybe checked out by the end. I honestly didn't like Thor 3. All right, I'm going a little overboard before we've locked the layer, so let's lock that right now, and then I'm going to airbrush on more of this dark color. Going to go just a little brighter so that I don't make it blend completely in with the roots, but yeah, we're just going to bring that along the top, and that way it looks like it's getting brighter towards the ends of her hair and kind of darker where it's towards the top, where it's going into sort of her roots. And then what I can do afterwards, once we're done with this whole portion of it, I can add a little pop of highlight along the top so that it really looks like her hair is shiny. All right, so let's go to another new layer, clip it between, and we're going to select that bright red color and same thing. And it doesn't matter now if we're neat when we meet up with these sections of hair because they're underneath and we can make them the exact same color as this hair so that they really blend in. All right, yeah, but really long hair, it's tricky. You got to make sure that the strands kind of all line up and make sense. I don't know, I'm used to drawing like small sections at a time. I don't often work, you know, in big sweeping motions like this. Final world, and just gave me a fun idea of what if Sora and Kairi are just at the background watching the event of the movie like they always do. Yeah. Well, you know, I just want to see Sora and Kairi like actually spending time together and hanging out more, because I really thought Kingdom Hearts 3 was gonna give us more like Sora, Kairi, Riku time together. At least one instance where, you know, all three of them are in the party. I was hoping for a whole world like that. I mean, in Kingdom Hearts 2, you get a whole world where Riku is your party member. So I was hoping Kingdom Hearts 3 would, you know, do that but better and make it Riku and Kairi that would be in your world in your party for a whole world. And no, instead you did get to play as them, but only in the Remind DLC. So you had to pay for it. Which I did, and it was good. But it wasn't what I was picturing. It wasn't what I had in mind. Expecting character moments from KH3? Yeah, madness, I know. I was so naive. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out... Okay, I'm gonna age myself, but Kingdom Hearts 2 came out when I was, like, 10. And so I had all the hopes of, like, a young child going into Kingdom Hearts 3. And well, we all know how that turned out. All right, so that's that layer done. Let's lock it, and then I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to brush in that darker root color. Just sort of blend. All right, and then I actually think I made a little too dark towards the root, so let's undo. Just gonna do the same thing, but a little softer. All right, yeah, no, I'm really liking the way that's looking. All right, so though another new layer, and then I can select a sort of highlight shade, sort of like this medium mauve pink tone for Kairi, and then we can drop in some highlights. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. I think it's a little more bright than I want, so I'm gonna just tone it down a little bit. Just by bringing down the opacity. I kind of like there, so I'm going to color drop, bring the opacity back up, lock it, and then bucket. That way it's still completely solid and the opacity is 100%, but the color and the tone are what I want. So yeah, no, that's Kairi. Pretty much done. So now we can move on to Grandma. Let's combine all of her hair onto one layer. Let's combine her eye. And now let's go to Grandma. So we can make this Holly Polly drawing invisible. And let's bring our sketch back up because I need to do some work on Grandma's Dia de los Muertos face, which I have in the sketch. Ever since my last stream, you picked up Dream Drop Distance. Just finished with the grid on both stories. Damn, do I hate the little dream freaks. Yeah. No, I mean, I've played Dream Drop Distance. I want to say I've played it twice. I didn't mind the Dream Eaters. It's kind of like Nintendogs. Of course, I find them really cute. But yeah, no, I think like it's really intensive to actually get them to level up the way that you want them to. I feel like I would spend a lot of time if I actually went into all of the Dream Eaters that I wanted. But then again, Dream Drop Distance has New Game Plus, which I forget about, and because I've only played it twice, I think the first time I played it, and then I think the second time I played it, I didn't go with New Game Plus, so I've never played it with New Game Plus. I need to try that. And I wish every Kingdom Hearts game would have New Game Plus. You go through a lot of work, especially in the final mixes, like Kingdom Hearts 1, you go through a lot of work to get the ultimate Keyblade, and I want to keep it. I don't want to do that work again. I want to be able to use it. Look at me. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. I got to back up on this black eye. I did on the same layer as the skin, and I meant to create a new layer. So hold on. We're just going to do that again real quick. But yeah, you go through a lot of work to get the ultimate Keyblade, and I want to keep it. I want to use it on all the boss fights that you don't even, like, you couldn't possibly have it, you know, by Trickmaster. But I want to be able to use it on Trickmaster. And I'm sure I can mod it, but I want the game to give me the option. Yeah, no, I mean, I think the Dream Eaters, I think some of their boosts, you can unlock them in a way that will make them permanent to Sora. But like I said, I haven't played it more than a couple times, and it's been a while, so I couldn't tell you too many details about how that works. But yeah, no, I mean, definitely, like, it wasn't the most intuitive, especially having played other Kingdom Hearts games. Like, typically you just kind of get the abilities, and once you have them, they're yours to keep. In Dream Drop Distance, they kind of made you go through a couple hoops in order to keep the abilities. Yeah, let me slay Clay in with the God Keyblade. That's the soft eraser. I want the hard eraser. You know what? I mean, okay, so like I know on Destiny Islands. Okay, yeah, no, you would for sure have to mod this, but I want to see it. If you had the Ultimate Keyblade on Destiny Islands, I want to see the Ultimate Keyblade versus Riku versus Titus versus Titus, Waka, and Selphie when you fight all three of them together at the beginning of the game. Ultimate Keyblade. I bet it's a one-shot kill on all of them. I see. Some abilities you keep, some abilities you don't. Alright, so we got the black part of the eyes laid in. Let's do the white part of the eyes, which we're going to select this bone color. And then just do a little bit lighter than that. And then Kairi's grandma's eyes. I guess I have a reference. I have a reference here, but I imagine they're kind of the same blue as every other Kingdom Hearts character. Oh. Yeah, royal blue. Same as every other Kingdom Hearts character except Riku. I remember as a little brown-eyed girl feeling so left out by Kingdom Hearts. Like obviously I love Kingdom Hearts, but every character has blue eyes. And the ones that don't have green eyes. I guess there's Xehanort, but he's evil and his eyes are yellow. But yeah, it's like super rare for a Kingdom Hearts character to have brown eyes. And I don't know why, that just made me feel a certain type of way when I was a kid. Alright, so we're going to go with like a dark royal blue. Just doing a big circle, and then we can erase everywhere that it kind of overlaps with her eyelids. Oop, erased a little too much. Don't want to erase anywhere where it's actually in her eye. Yeah, Ansem has orange eyes. Yeah, it's like just rare for some just dark brown eyes. Yeah, I don't think there's any characters with hazel eyes. I mean, yeah, it's basically like... And yeah, and when it's blue, it's always this like royal blue. I feel like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. Royal blue. Alright, I'm done with that. Alright, let's pick out an aqua color. Very bright aqua airbrush. Small, tiny airbrush. Let's just pop that right around her pupil on the underneath. I didn't have this locked. Let me undo and lock it. And thanks to KHIs and fanfiction, you learned the word aquamarine. Hey, Georgia, what's up? Cries and brown eyes, yeah. Larxene has teal eyes. I think her eyes are blue. I mean, you know, definitely fact check me, because I could be wrong, because I already mentioned that Chain of Memories, I usually read the manga, and the manga isn't colored. So I could definitely be wrong on Larxene's coloring, but like I feel like she has blue eyes, like everyone else. All right, let's go to this layer right above her eyelashes, and we're gonna pencil in the sparkle, the highlights. So yeah, one kind of medium-sized sparkle at the top, one small sparkle at the bottom of the pupil, and then one big sparkle on the blue part at the bottom. And you know, I'm going to add more sparkles at the bottom. I'm going to change where the big one is. I'm going to change it to this side of her eye. And then I'm going to add in another little one there. I like that. All right. So let's see, we've got the whites of her eyes here. Let's lock that and brush in the very whitest parts of them, just towards the bottom. Yeah, you were napping, yeah. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to do these more in the afternoon. Just doing them earlier in the day doesn't seem to work out so well. And plus I have a cat named Goose who gets medicine at 3 o'clock. So it's just better for me to start streams after 3 o'clock because of that. All right, so what color are a Boney's lips? I guess this is makeup. Like, a Boney probably doesn't have lips. Yeah, no, don't mind if I call her grandma a Boney for, like, the rest of this stream. But let's see. Let's just do a red, because I feel like a Dia de los Muertos would probably have, like, red lipstick. I'm gonna pick, like, a dark, sort of purpley red as the base, and then we can do more of a true red for the highlight. Boney bags. Boo, boo, boo. Boo, 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 boo. Sometimes the Final Fantasy music that sounds like elevator music, I mean, sometimes it's the best. Well, no, not even low-key. I high-key wish that elevators would use this music. And, like, waiting, like, when you get put on hold, they should absolutely be using, like, okay, well, maybe it's a bad idea. I was gonna say they should use, like, you know, the fight themes, but no, actually that would probably hype people up too much. They're gonna be ready to fight when the person gets off hold. All right, I'm gonna do a true red now, but I'm gonna actually do it on a new layer. That way I can change that base layer color if I want to, which I'm already thinking I might. All right, just adding a little bit of highlight onto the bottom lip, and then just a touch on the top. And let's actually change this color. I've changed my mind. I want it more of a true red, but dark. Darker. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. All right, let's go to the actual bone face. I'm gonna add in the dimension onto the face. And then we can start doing the makeup on it. All right, so I'm gonna start out with a bright color here on her cheekbones. I'm gonna make it even brighter than that. Bright color on the top of her cheekbones, and then I can add in this sort of shadow color to make it look like they're a little bit sunken in. So, like, the cheeks are jutting out of this sunken in area. And then she would have a little bit of highlight on her little stumpy, bony nose. And then definitely on her forehead. I'm actually going to erase, or not erase, I'm going to turn off the sketch layer just so I can see a little better, uncluttered, what I'm doing. All right, yeah, adding in just a little highlight on the center of her forehead, leaving the temples pretty untouched. And then let's go to her chin and her mouth, and the center of that would also be highlighted. All right, no, actually, okay. Always adding in the dimension, you know, it just helps bring it to life so much. I think that alone did a lot of work. I kind of want to take an even darker shadow shade just to kind of hit the underneaths of these cheekbones. All right, very subtle, but effective. All right, let's go to just one layer above. Hey Jaden, how you doing? Kingdom Hearts is also my favorite thing. While you guys are watching, I'm just gonna repeat it. I've already said it, but I'll repeat it again. If there's anything that you guys want to see that's Kingdom Hearts related, just let me know. Like, all of these were based on comments that people made. I'm also gonna be drawing Sugar Rush Sora later on today. So yeah, if there's anything you want to see, just let me know. I have a notebook where I'm writing them all down. All right, let's go in with some more of this red color. I want to kind of have some red paint to accent this lip color. So I'm going to make one of these at least red. These sort of like petals on her cheeks. And then let's have one that's purple. Sort of a pinky magenta purple. Just because I like that color and it's pretty. And then probably a blue one. All right, and then probably that same red. We're gonna do the start of these dots above her eyebrows, which that one is kind of over this part. Just trying to make sure that these look even, as if you were looking at her from straight on, even though you're not. All right. I'm immediately reminded of Padme Amidala from Star Wars. I remember my first tricycle was a Padme Amidala tricycle where, you know, she had like her awesome, basically the exact look that I'm thinking of right here with the white face and like the red dots. If you've seen like the prequel Star Wars movies, you can probably picture it. Yeah, no, my first bike had that all over it. Yeah, excited for Sugar Rush, Sora. You know, I'm excited for it too, just because, yeah, the sketch that I have done, just Sora himself, yeah, he's in the Sugar Rush style, and I think he looks super cute. All right, let's go on with this face paint. And yeah, I remember I obviously I don't have any photos of Coco up now, but I did when I drew this. And I remember the face paint not actually being too involved. So yeah, I think just these dots and these little petals, I think that's about going to cover it. I'm not really going to do too much more than that. Think it looks pretty effective. I think I want to put something in the center of her forehead. So let's pick that blue color. We can do a little petal there. And then the purple color, do like maybe little 2 accent petals. And I don't think we need more than that. I kind of just wanted something on the center of her head, but that's about all we need. Is Grandma Boney meant to be sitting down, or is she short? She's short. Yeah, no, see, I figure Kairi was a little girl last she saw her, but I figure she's a skeleton, she's dead, so she's probably pretty short. All right, let's combine all of that. And that way all of that's on one layer. Her hair is behind there. We got her scarf. Okay, so here's her neck bones. I'm selecting that layer, and I'm not gonna add any highlight onto them. I think I'm just gonna bring a little bit of darker shadow since they're kind of going into her clothes. And it would also be underneath. So yeah, there's really nothing but shadow being cast on these neck bones. So we're just going to make them darker. Great. All right, that's done very quick. I mean, Axel is really tall. I think Axel, I mean, if you, like, even without his hair, if you compared him to other characters height-wise, I think he would be one of the tallest. All right, apron. Let's do the apron next. Because actually, I have a reference on my canvas for Kairi's grandma right here, which I color dropped already from. So let's continue with that. She's got this apron that kind of ombres down to a pink from this white color. So we're going to make that more of a shadow color, and then we're going to make this pink slightly more pink. So yeah, we're going to work in shadow tones first, and then airbrush in some lighter tones. All right, so I have this gradient tool that allows me to select 2 colors and set up an automatic fade between them. So we're going to do the pink to that sort of off-white on one layer, and now I can use my airbrush to start just laying in actual detail with more of a white color, which I'm actually going to turn it on to screen, which means that even this pink down here, it's going to sort of be more pink because it's not going to be just laying opaque on top of it, if that makes sense. All right, and then I'm going to turn down the opacity of that, just make it a little less intense. A little bit more intense than that. Like 53, I think will be good. And then I can use a smaller airbrush to refine those details. A little too intense there. All right, and then just really hitting the edge of these ruffles. Okay, and then I can do the same thing right here where it would kind of be wrapping around her waist. And it would probably be wrinkling up a little bit because of that. Let's turn off the sketch, that way I can see it uncluttered. Just adding in the brights of the wrinkles, and then I can do the same thing I did on Kairi's sleeves, which will be to add in just a couple of lines to really sell the wrinkles. So I'm going to select kind of a darker shade. That's a little bit bigger than I want. Let's go down to 20. All right, and then yeah, just adding in a couple of like sort of wrinkle lines. Okay. Let's jump to her dress. I think that's going to cover it for... Oh, wait, no, we're not done with her apron. Her apron's almost done. But no, so her apron does have these like little cutouts down here. So I'm going to use my eraser tool and we're going to cut out those shapes. And then I see a little bit of background poking through. That's fine. I can always add in purple there. All right, just cutting out these shapes really quickly. And then here we can let the background show because there's going to be no dress behind it. Oop. Got a little sloppy there. All right, let's make it a little smaller, give us a little bit more control. All right, and then we can move on to her dress, which is this purple color. I'm going to make it slightly deeper than this because I want it to be sort of in shadow. So yeah, just slightly darker, and then I can select a bright color to highlight with. We're gonna lay on that bright color at the top of her bust and as well as her shoulders where the light would be hitting. And then I can use that sort of darker color underneath the scarf to imply that the shadow's there. All with the airbrush tool. All right, and then I'm going to use an even darker color because there's a lot of shadow probably being cast right here by her arms and stuff. So let's go to a new layer, even darker than the color we've already got. And put that right here, right by her arms. And then I'm also going to use the pen. And we're going to kind of fill in this sleeve area where you would almost be seeing like the inside of her sleeve. I can also use it to define where the sort of bust and where the sleeve meet on that side. All right, so that's the top part of the dress done. I can clip another layer and do that bright tone again, airbrush on. Smaller than that. All right, the edge where the light would probably be hitting it, and then I can also just kind of use a smaller airbrush and touch the bottom ruffles of the skirt. Kind of picking a happy medium size. All right, and then this one's a big ruffle, so I'm going with a bigger size. This way we're just making it look slightly more three-dimensional. All right, and then the bottom I'm not going to worry too much about. Like the bottom, if this was normal drawing that I was doing, I would add ruffles underneath this layer of skirt just because that's something that I do on pretty much every drawing that I do. But because this is the world of Coco, they're going to be kind of standing in a field of flowers. So the bottom edge of a lot of this is going to get obstructed. All right, so let's see. What we still have to do on Grandma is her arms, her little bony arms, and her scarf and her hair. So let's go on. Let's combine everything that we just did on the dress into one layer. And let's see, where's her arms? All right, got them there. So same thing, I'm going to select just a slightly darker color to bucket them real quick. No, actually, I'm going to undo that. All right, and then I can use this bright color to highlight. Same thing with the airbrush. I don't know the names of the bones, so I'm going to do this like top arm, this forearm top bone. Then I'm going to erase this edge just to make it neat. Yeah, I also didn't reference a skeleton when I drew this, so the bones could be a little inaccurate. Not too worried about it. All right, then I'm going to erase here just so that it doesn't affect this other bone, and that way they'll both look like they're sort of rounded out and three-dimensional. Alright, and then I can go underneath both of those, and since those are already done, this last one will be a lot easier. Just have to lay in a little bit of pop there, and then I'm going to do very, very skinny little edge light on the back edge of it. And that'll also help it just make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. And then we can also do a little bit of darkness where it's going into the sleeve. And honestly, like, I could go back and forth with the airbrush all day. It's the #1 tool that I use. I mean, you don't have to, if you work softly, if you just don't lay it down too harsh, then you really never have to blend. Everything just looks blended. All right, that's one arm done. I do have to do the fingers still. So let's select our bright color again and then take a very, very tiny airbrush. Yeah, anatomically correct Kingdom Hearts drawing. That's actually something that was funny for me when I went to drawing Kingdom Hearts fan art and like focusing on it. Because I have been drawing my whole life. It's always something that I've loved to do. And hold on, let me figure out why this isn't showing up. Oh, these hands are on a different layer, that's why. All right, let me go to the hand layer. All right, now it'll show up. But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts drawings, because I had been drawing just my own art for years and years and years, and like, you know, if I draw the way that I would just draw, then I try to go very realistic with my proportions. And so then going to Kingdom Hearts art from how I've been drawing for years, I had to completely change the proportions that I'm used to drawing. So like Kairi, for example, is someone that like her torso is extremely tiny compared to the rest of her body, and like compared to like a normal girl, and like it's short and it's small. So like that's something that I really had to get used to drawing with her. And honestly, kind of same thing with Sora. Like if you compare it with a normal male body, his torso, like the actual like chest part, it's pretty small. He's got that jacket on that sort of bulks it up, but the actual chest part's pretty small. See, I was just, yeah, there's a bunch of, you know, stylized proportions going on in Kingdom Hearts. It also makes it really fun to draw. All right, and then we just have to add on a little bit more highlight to the bones back here. And then her arms will be done. All right, let's combine all of that so that it stays neat. I'm also going to combine her hands onto the same layer. So yeah, everything's together. Now everything's together. There we go. All right, so now all we have to do is her scarf and her hair, and then we can get started on the background because the characters will be done. So that's exciting. All right, so scarf, it's already dark, so I'm just going to pick a very similar shade but brighter for the highlight. I'm just going to airbrush it on the top, and then I'm going to use probably lines and more airbrushing to just add in the wrinkles of this bow. I would love, okay, so I was talking a little bit about Final Fantasy remakes earlier. I would love a Final Fantasy VIII remake, and I would hope that they would change a lot. Like, kind of change everything. Because, like, I think Final Fantasy VIII has a lot of great ideas, and, like, I think there's good characters there. It's just hard for me to get into the story. The story really comes out of left field a lot of the time. If you've played it, then you probably know what I'm talking about. And plus, there's a lot of fan theories about the storyline of 8 that I think make it better. So, and I really hope that they remake 8. Oh, and not to mention, if you've played 8, you also know the junction system and how you're pretty much not supposed to level up. If you level up, the enemies get stronger. I'm quite delayed, but also Sora's calves are fucked. Sora's calves? What do you mean Sora's calves? But yeah, no, I would love Final Fantasy VIII remake, and I would love for them to change it. And yeah, change the battle, change the story. Just give me the same characters, but make it make sense this time. All right, just adding a couple little wrinkle lines around this scarf. And then we can go on to her hair. All right, I think that's looking great. Let's combine all of that onto one layer, that way her scarf's all together. And then we've got the back of her hair on one layer on this sort of darker layer. Let me select my tapered pen, and I'm going to choose a slightly brighter gray color, and we're going to lay in some actual hair strands. Then buns, I don't know about you guys, but I struggle to draw buns. I feel like the hair is supposed to be sort of twisting in a certain direction because it's a bun. You know, it was kind of twisted into place typically. And yeah, no, it can just be difficult to draw that. But I think that's all right. Gonna lock that. All right, and then let's airbrush in the darker color. Make it look a little bit dimensional. And then same thing as we did on Kairi's, I can always add on a little bit of shine. A little bit of highlight. So I'm going to select a very bright color, and then I can always tone it down, but I'm just going to add a little bit of shine onto that bun. And then we can do the same technique on the front of her hair where this big this big plume is. All right, so I'm actually going to use an airbrush to brush in sort of a deeper color where the roots of her hair are. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Okay, now I know what you mean, Fitz. Yeah, no, Sora's legs, yeah, he skipped leg day. That's why he wears the big poofy pants, so that you can't see how stick thin his legs are. All right, and then we're gonna go with the tapered pen, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do like sort of a light gray color to do the hair strands. Yeah, Riku did not skip leg day, and that's why he calls Sora a lazy bum, because he looks at Sora's legs and he's like, wow, you really climbed a couple trees, you fought a couple dudes, and then you took a nap without doing anything about your legs. And you know, Riku, he's doing that whole, like, if you guys have played Kingdom Hearts and you know the Destiny Island segment where you can fight Riku, he does this move where he, like, kind of jumps up, like, from being on his back. And I feel like that's all leg strength. That's all butt and leg strength. That's glutes. All right, but yeah, basically following just kind of a curving motion with this pen, and I'm going to continue curving as I go around, but I'm going to start changing the angle of the curve since her hair is going up here, and then it's going to go out to the side here. And yeah, all of this right now is that bright gray color, and then I'm going to lock in. We're going to add a little bit of darkness towards the roots. That way it blends in a little bit better. All right, locking it, and then let's brush in. Let's select sort of that medium color. I'm also going to turn... Oh, no, the sketch is already off. All right, cool. Just want to make sure that there was nothing that could possibly be cluttering my view. All right, and then, yeah, this really makes it look like her hair's kind of you know, at the roots and then sort of pluming out. And then we could add on that same sort of bright highlight shade as like a shine. I'm gonna make it even brighter than that. And then just hit the very tippy tops where like sort of the curve would be hitting the light. But yeah, once this hair is done, then Granny herself is done and we can start doing the background, which means this piece is nearing completion. The background I don't expect to take sorry, getting tongue-tied. Don't expect the background to take too long. It's just gonna be some of the yellow flowers that you see in the movie Coco. But I have a flower brush that I can use, so I might just use that to lay in the bottom really quick, and then the background itself is kind of just gonna be a dark navy blue. There's not actually gonna be too much happening. All right, yeah, just kind of slowly bringing that to a stop down there. And then I'm going to lock it, and I'm actually going to use my soft eraser just to kind of touch the bottom, make it not as bright down there. There, I think that looks really effective. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, I made a whole video about this hair technique because, like, once I figured it out, it changed my world. I struggled with drawing hair for years. And then I got this tapered brush, and my life changed because I figured out how to use the tapered brush with the airbrush to create fast hair. It's really awesome. All right, but so Granny's pretty much done. I think both of them are pretty much done. So I think it's time we... You know, Rob Ross always says be brave, so let's take a big step and let's combine them onto one layer. And there, now both of them are together. And I can go to one of my flower brushes, and I'm going to select this like very sort of marigold orange color, as well as like a sort of bright yellow. I'm going to make the orange almost more red, sort of a bloody orange. All right, and then these flowers are probably not the same kind of flowers. I think it's a very specific kind of flower that is in Coco. If I'm right, it's a marigold. But I am lazy and I'm a digital artist, and I have a brush for flowers already that are not marigolds that I made, so I'm just going to use that. And no one's ever going to be able to tell the difference. No one better say anything. Thoughts on Harry Potter? I love Harry Potter. I know a lot of people focus on, you know, the negatives of the author of Harry Potter. I choose not to focus on that. I choose to focus on the positives of the artwork of Harry Potter. And, you know, I really like Harry Potter. I still read it to this day. I have all the books. I already bought them, so I may as well read them. I never played Hogwarts Legacy, though. I did buy the game and then just haven't played it yet. I bought it at Disc Replay just recently. But yeah, no, I really like the original movies. I like the books. I'm not too keen on like more Harry Potter shows and media unless they do like a really good idea. I know a lot of people really want the Marauders sort of storyline with Lupin and Harry's dad, and I'm on board with that. I think that would be really cool to see like Lily and Snape and stuff. But outside of that, I think the movies were good, and I don't really need more. You love Hermione? Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, we were definitely a Harry Potter household growing up. We saw all the movies in theaters. We owned all the books. I remember having like little cutouts from magazines of Ron Weasley from Goblet of Fire on our walls. Yeah, you go to Harry Potter for Harry Potter. Yeah, I mean, like, if I had to pick a favorite character from Harry Potter, it would be Harry Potter. Like, I just really like... I dig it. All right, and then we're just gonna, these flowers are not gonna look the best back here, but we're gonna make it work. Because yeah, basically I just kind of, I don't want like a line for the horizon. I kind of want to do these flowers, and then we're gonna kind of shift the perspective and blend it, and then it's gonna look like it kind of just softly goes into the horizon. Yeah, no, I mean, Hermione, like, I think Ginny would be a lot more people's favorite character if the movie had done like a good version of Ginny. Because like Ginny in the books is pretty good. I personally, I think I would connect a lot more with Ginny, just because like I come with from a family with a lot of siblings, and you know she feels like she's got to be tough. So I would love, maybe if they did do Harry Potter again, like a redo. You know, I think it would be very cool if they did a better Ginny. You don't like her in the books either? I think I liked her more the most recent time that I read. Because, yeah, the first time around, I can't say I was too impressed, but I just read them like a couple of years ago, and I definitely remember liking her a lot more. All right, so let's make it a little... No, actually, we're going to put in the navy blue background first, and then I'm going to work on blending the horizon line. So yeah, I'm going to make very dark purple, and then I'm going to use my gradient tool. And then I think that's going to create a very pretty sort of blue to... Oh yeah, look at that. That's so pretty. The blue and the purple with the gold. Okay, I gotta make it look cohesive and blend together. But yeah, no, I definitely like the way that's going so far. I think that looks great. Let's make some more flowers in front of their feet. Yeah, Ginny is very much like KH1 Kairi. That's probably why I like her. I love KH1 Kairi. And yeah, you're not a book reader. I'm also not like that much of a book reader. Harry Potter is one of the only book series I have read. In school, it was very, very hard for them to get me to read the books that I was assigned to read. Pretty much didn't do it. A fanfic reader, not really. I'm pretty much not like a reader. If I do anything, I play video games. And yeah, no, if I do read books, it'll typically be comic books. I'm really a lot more into comic books. So like the Kingdom Hearts manga, you know, I'll read those. Read those quite a bit. All right, so yeah, right now I just want to get some flowers kind of in front of Kairi's feet. That's like what I'm doing here, just so that her feet are a little bit more blended in. It makes it look like she's part of the environment. So I think right there kind of obscures them enough. Ever read Scott Pilgrim? I haven't. I did just rewatch the movie like a couple like weeks ago. So like I definitely love the movie, and it made me think that I should read the comic book. For some reason, I always thought that Scott Pilgrim was based on a video game, and then I found out that no, like the video game, a video game does exist, but it was made after the movie, and I thought it was the other way around. I thought the comic book was based off the movie, was based off the video game, but it's all the opposite way around. All right, so those are in place, those flowers that are going to be in the front. So now I'm going to combine all of these flowers onto one layer, and then we're going to clip to that layer so that I can't color outside the lines. And then I'm going to do an ombre sort of overlay. Or actually, let's do a multiply. And I'm going to do sort of an ombre from the back to the front. That way it's darker back there, and I can change the opacity. Yeah, I think already that helped. And then Let's also, I'm gonna unlock it so that I can blur the edge just a tiny bit. I don't want to blur everything though, so I'm just gonna select like that portion there. And actually, no, I'm just gonna select. I'm gonna do the whole thing. All right, so yeah, there's different ways that you can blur layers. I'm gonna do a motion. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do a spin blur. Radial blur. Sorry, okay. There's a lot of different kinds of blurs you can do in Clip Studio Paint. This is the radial blur. So basically, when I want to blur something more that's further away, this is the blur that I do. You can set the center, so I'm going to set the center to down here, and that way this down here will be less blurred, and then like this back here will be more blurred. And then I can always just turn it up if I want it to be more blurred. It does take a second to process, so I just wait and watch. Kind of see if it's blurring too much, then I can turn it down. But I do kind of like the way that looks on the edges, and I think it's gonna look good, yeah, as it gets towards the front. So I'm gonna hit OK, apply that, and that way the background is sort of more blurred, and then this down here is less blurred. All right, we're also gonna do a multiply right beneath Kairi and her grandma's feet so that it looks like they're kind of interacting with the flowers a little bit more. I'm gonna use my airbrush for that and just sort of a dark purple color with the multiply and just airbrush that right below them. I can always change the tone if I want it to be a little warmer, which I'm already thinking I might. You know, some of my favorite comic books have been the Sin City comic books. Have any of you guys read those? Frank Miller is just one of my favorite comic book artists. I think the way that he draws people, like, I feel like he must take time because they always look so good and so intentional, but it also looks effortless, so it's really hard to tell. Like, I'm always impressed when I look at a Frank Miller comic. All right, I think I like that for the multiply layer, and then that multiply layer also helps to make these sort of foreground flowers stand out a little bit more. And then it's been a while since I've seen Coco. I kind of don't remember if there's anything going on in the sky. I can do a little bit of smoke though, at least. Kind of just adds some ambiance. I believe I'm gonna find that. It's been a while since I've used. I have a watercolor brush. And there's, yeah, the rough wash setting, this one. This is what I use whenever I sort of do smoke for environment. You guys will see it once I start using it. There's a city in the background. You are correct about that. But yeah, this rough wash tool I really like because it does look like smoke when you can layer it up, sort of make areas brighter and darker by layering. And yeah, to me it always just looks like it adds really good ambiance. Kind of like if you guys have seen Twilight, it's kind of always misty there. Yeah, it looks like it kind of just adds like a little layer of mist or fog. And then, yeah, I can just turn that down a little bit. Not all the way, though. All right, but I think that's... it's not quite done, but it's very close to done. All right, so that's the background laid in. What I still want to do is we're going to clip a layer to Grandma and Kairi. And we're going to do a gradient and multiply. And bring it from the bottom to the top. That way it looks like the bottom is darker and the top is brighter, where the light would be sort of less accessible down there. I'm going to make it again, just not bring it up so high. I'm going to bring it up to around their hips. And then multiply. All right, and there, that adds just a little bit more connection with the environment. Let's copy and paste the layer that they're on. And then in Clip Studio Paint, you can also select this right here, and that'll add an automatic outline around them. It automatically makes it white, but I can make it like, let's make it sort of a brighter blue and just see how that looks. So yeah, now it's sort of this bright blue color. I can turn it up to 5. Let's see, I'm just gonna fix her knee a little bit. That outline brought out this little dip in the skin. I'm just gonna fix that up real quick. All right, but yeah, so that's a blue outline. You can also, let's say I want to make the outline blue on the top and orange on the bottom, which is what I think I'm gonna do. I just created another new layer to combine it with. And now that outline, like you can see, I can make another outline. But basically what it means is I can change the color of that outline to be an ombre, which otherwise you can't do. So let's say I'm going to lock that. We're going to make it more of a blue that stands out. So let's make it an even brighter blue up here. And then on the bottom, where it's more interacting with this gold down here, we can select sort of a very dark red, almost more purpley. And then we're going to just try ombreing that from top to bottom and see if that creates the effect that we want. All right, because yeah, now we've got a bright blue outline on both characters up top. And then on the bottom, we have more of this dark outline, which I think I'm happy with. I think that looks good. Let's see, there's just this little orange peeking out right there. So I'm going to fix that up really quick. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Yeah, like there could be a city in the background, but I don't have a city brush, and I also am not great at drawing cities. So we're gonna say she's on the bridge, and this is the void. One more thing I might do, I'll clip it to them. I'm gonna do an overlay layer, and then I think that's gonna be what really finishes this piece up. Because they're just a little bit bright in comparison to the background, so I'm gonna do an overlay of a dark purple, leading up to sort of an orangey gold. We're going to ombre that top to bottom, opposite way. Let's save. All right, bottom to top, or sorry, yeah, top to bottom, ombre. And let's bring it down a little bit. And that will also kind of just help them blend into the environment a little bit more, make it look like they're really there. All right, but I think that's pretty much that piece done. Like I said, before I post it online, I'll just kind of touch the details, touch the overall effect, make sure it looks good. But I think that looks great. So we're going to move on to Sugar Rush Sora. All right, new drawing time. All right, so first thing that I do is I'm going to draw lines for just the face and where the eyelashes are. I always do solid lines for the face, for the hands, for the eyelashes. And then otherwise I won't do any line work. I'll just start out with coloring for everything else. Yeah, this at least gives me a good guide for the things that need to be detailed and need to look correct. All right, and let's turn the stabilization up to maybe 50. That basically means that as my hand shakes, the pen isn't gonna register that shake, and it's gonna be a little bit more smooth for me. All right, then yeah, we're gonna see how far we can get into this Sugar Rush Sora today. Let's see, we're at an hour and 45 minutes in. I don't like to keep my live streams too long. So once we hit 4 hours, we'll see where we're at. But yeah, I'm glad we're getting started now because we can definitely get a lot of progress made in that time. Gremlin Sora, yeah, no, like, if they gave us a Wreck-It Ralph world and you went to Sugar Rush, I honestly, in my heart, I don't think they would make Sora in, like, this style. I think he would probably retain just his regular style. But, like, this is my drawing, and I really wanted to draw Sora as a little Sugar Rush gremlin. You know, I did find out recently from, just one of those Kingdom Hearts facts you didn't know videos on YouTube, that Sora was maybe gonna have like a loincloth outfit for Tarzan World in Kingdom Hearts 1. Then they ditched it. I don't know, maybe they just figured his normal outfit was gonna look fine. But if they are gonna give us an alternate outfit for like every world, then I want that. I just want all the fashion. And yeah, Silly Sora from Timeless River, that's one of my favorite versions of Sora. I think that version's so cute. Alright, just drawing little dots for his pupils. And now I can move on to his face lines. Do some keychains in his hair. Like, what kind of keychains? Oh yeah, I guess I should point out for this. Oh yeah, let me change, because Kairi and Coco is done. I'm going to change the comment. So yeah, this is the comment that asked for Sugar Rush Sora. I just moved it right above my head. But yeah, no, Sugar Rush Sora. Again, I do picture this kind of like being Kingdom Hearts 4. That maybe these worlds would show up. So this version of Sora I did draw based on the Kingdom Hearts 4 design that we got in the teaser trailers. Oh, the ones he gets on his Keyblades, that would be fun. But yeah, so like this Sora, let me pull up my reference image, is based on this design where he's got this like blazer jacket with these cuffs, and I actually don't have like a good reference for his shoes. I kind of made them up. And then yeah, his hair is less spiky, does more of this swoop thing. So yeah, that's the version of Sora that this Sugar Rush character is based off of. Hey Star Rider, what's up? Thanks. Let me show you real quick, because we just got done with Coco in the world Kairi in the world of Coco. So yeah, that was this piece, finished up. Yeah, now we're moving on to Sora and Sugar Rush. Yeah, this is Sora in the world of Sugar Rush from Wreck-It Ralph. And yeah, a lot of the Sugar Rush kids, I think, do have candy in their hair. I wasn't really planning on putting candy in his hair for this one. I figured just kind of being in the chibi style would be good. And then yeah, the person that requested this really wanted him to have a lot of like fudgy, chocolatey, toffee elements on his cart. So that's what we're going to go for with that. All right, and then like I said, I struggle with these like big lines more on a tablet. If I was drawing traditionally, this would be fine, but just on a tablet, I'm looking here, I'm drawing down here, so when I get to like these chin lines, it can be difficult. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I just heard my cat walking up to my door and meowing. He acts like he wants to hang out with me, But I know if I let him in here, he would not hang out with me. He just likes to meow. Brigadiro? Alright, yeah, I'll add some Brigadiro. Hopefully I'm saying that kind of correctly. I'll look up a photo of it and put it on there. Alright, that's his cheek and his jaw. I usually don't do a little line for his ear, and then he doesn't have hands showing, so that's actually all of the lines that I gotta do for his face. Let me just add in eyebrows real quick, and then we can get into the color. And actually, let me look up real quick. Brigadiro. Let me bring you guys with me while I Google this. So let's see, I've got Brigadiro. I've never heard of it, so let's look it up. Alright, yeah, definitely. I can throw, ooh, maybe the tires can be inspired by that. I kind of inspired the tires by Reese's Cups, but there's a Sugar Rush character that already has some Reese's Cups on their car, so like we can make the tires maybe like these chocolate sort of sprinkles. Alright, back to the art scene. Alright, so that's his eyebrows. One's definitely raised a little bit further. It makes him look mischievous. Alright, let's select a deep, dark skin tone, darker than we would normally go for him, and that'll be the shadow shade, which I'm going to do the flat color in. And then I can add in the bright later. And then, yeah, I am going to be neat and follow this line that I made, just so that I don't have to be neat on other things, like his shirt and his sweater. I do take commissions technically, but right now I don't have a PayPal set up, so I've only been accepting payment through Venmo, and that just doesn't work for a lot of people. But yeah, no, if you want to do Venmo, I can take commissions. I would just have to get PayPal set up before I do any other kinds of commissions. I also obviously have to be on board with the commission, so like I don't really do inappropriate stuff. But it's been super rare that people have asked for that. And if it's anything Kingdom Hearts related, as long as it's not like an original character where I have to, you know, actually sort of draw something I've never drawn before, you know, it's not one of these Kingdom Hearts characters that I would love to draw anyways. Yeah, if it's a Kingdom Hearts character only thing, then that would basically be a request. You wouldn't have to pay for that. And that's kind of what this is right here. Like what this whole series is that I'm doing is a bunch of Kingdom Hearts requests. All right, let's brighten that up a little bit. Made that just a little too dark. That looks better. All right, and then I think it's hard to tell with this screenshot if his if his legs are going to be showing when he's got his shoes on or not, but I'm going to draw them like that anyways, just because that's how it is in all of the other games. So I'm assuming they're not changing it too much for that. So I'm going to put a little skin here between where his shoes and where his pants are going to be. All right, and then another new layer, we can pick out this darkest color right from here. I'm just going to color drop from the image. And then just lay in the silhouette of his pants. All right, and then yeah, I can just fill in that with the flat color, and then I can add in the pockets and the dimension later. That's what I love is that you can always, with my technique, I basically can segment everything so that everything doesn't feel like it takes too long. I don't spend too long on any one part because I can typically just move on really quickly before doing any other steps. All right, so yeah, I'm just going to select this dark color from the jacket. And then same thing, just going to lay in the flat color for where it's going to be. Then while I'm working, because this color is so similar to the color of his pants, I can make his pants a lighter color just to help me kind of see the difference. But I'm not going to do that just yet. Yeah, I am kind of surprised with this design of Sora because, like, when I saw this design, you know, it hit me like, oh, Sora's really becoming more of an adult. They got him in kind of a, like, I call it a blazer, you know, it's got arm cuffs, it's long sleeved. So yeah, it really made it look like what he's wearing is trying to make him seem like more of an adult. But then the face and the hair, you know, he still kind of looks like a 15-year-old boy there. I kind of wish that, like, for as much as they are changing Sora's face and hair, that they would make him look just a little bit more mature. I'm ready for, you know, like a 20-year-old looking Sora. Especially, I heard recently that, you know, Haley Joel Osment may not return to voice him again. So, like, if they're going to change the voice, give us, you know, give us a whole new Sora. Give us a whole older sounding Sora. All right, so that's the blazer. I got through that actually without changing the color of the pants at all. And then I can pick this dark red from his photo, and then it's going to be really simple, really easy for me to just lay in the hoodie real quick. Which actually, I think I am going to bring it just peeking over his jawline, so I'm going to erase that line up there in just 1 second. So yeah, here, I'm going to erase where the hoodie would kind of be overlapping it. All right, and then I'm going to eliminate the sketch, and then you can see, yeah, the hoodie's sort of peeking out over the top. Still got to do his shoes, his hair, his cuffs. Let's work on these cuffs. Let's pick out that dark color. Yeah, adult Sora working a 9 to 5 with a receding hairline. Well, yeah, I mean, just because they've changed up his spikes so much that, you know, well, if they're gonna change them, like maybe we can move away from them. You know, he's still got a little bit of spike here, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, no, I definitely see in the future like him probably not having spiky hair at all. I feel like they're gonna totally change up his design if they continue making more games after Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah, he looks more mature. I think a lot of characters look older in Kingdom Hearts 2 than in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like Kairi, I think is a great example for me. In Kingdom Hearts 3, she looks a lot younger than in Kingdom Hearts 2. Riku as well. I mean, I get why they trimmed Riku's bangs. I get that he needs to see. I wish that they wouldn't have trimmed the rest of Riku's hair. I wish his hair would have stayed long. And yeah, like Sora, like his outfit in Kingdom Hearts 3, it's good. I like the outfit. It's just not really an improvement on his previous outfits because his previous outfits were also good. And yeah, I think if they'd made that third outfit maybe just a little bit more unique and a little bit sort of more mature, then it would have been better. All right, let's add in the hair since we've got everything else. So I'm going to start off just by blocking in where I know the hair is going to be with the flat pen, and then I can sort of go in with more of the tapered pen to get the actual hair strokes and the spikes. All right, let's go in with the tapered pen. I've got at least this whole scalp covered. So yeah, now we can just do fat spikes for his bangs. He's always got these 3 pieces sort of right in front of his forehead. So I'm starting out with those. And then a little side piece there. And I really, if they're giving Sora a new design, you know, like, his design here, I do like it. I'd be interested to see what they design for Riku and for Kairi. I really want characters like Roxas to get a new design and like Naminé, you know, characters that have really only ever had one. And I know Axel and Xion, they just got designs for Kingdom Hearts 3, but they didn't wear them at all except for in the ending cutscene. And honestly, they can do better. You know, I kind of want another new outfit for those two as well. Same thing with Syx. I'm still not on board with Syx being a good guy. I still kind of want to kick his ass. But, you know, while we're at it, give him another new outfit. Yeah, you still think him joining the Sea Salt Trio is the worst scene? That's because it is. Like, if Syx is going to get a redemption, then have it happen over the course of a game. You know, give me scenes and get me on board with it. You can't just have me literally fight him in the final boss, like, gauntlet, and then in the ending cutscene, show me, like, that he's a good guy. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Like, I'm not saying Saïx as a good guy can't work. It just can't work the way that they did it. It's kind of like Riku. Like, Riku can be a good guy, but you gotta show me him going through a lot to get there. It would be like if, you know, if Chain of Memories and if 358 over 2 days, what we know of it now, it'd be like if all of that never happened and if, like, Kingdom Hearts 1 just went straight into where Sora finds Riku and Riku's all good again, except also without the tearful stuff. Yeah, it was just nothing about Saïx returning was deserved. All right, I'm going to go to a layer behind his skin so that I don't disrupt his ear. And then I can kind of be more messy with these spikes back here. And actually, I'm also going to make them a slightly darker color just so I can help differentiate for them from the layer in front. Just ever so slight, just enough for me to tell the difference. Yeah, Saïx did suck. He did try to kill us. And then I just want to make sure for you guys, just because I'm experiencing a little bit of lag on my end, can you guys just let me know if you guys are experiencing any lag? I just started seeing it, so I just want to make sure that the stream's all right. Cool. Just want to make sure. Thank you. All right, I think that's pretty much Sora's hair done. I'm going to eliminate the sketch. All right, sorry. He looks funny. I did not draw his nose. That's why he looks a little funny. Yeah, no, when I take away the sketch, his nose completely disappears. Let me fix that. Yeah, he looks so smug. Yeah, no, he's so happy. All right, that's enough of a nose. We can work it in more with the color that we do. But first, let me do some eye, like the whites of the eyes, the eye flesh tone. Yeah, thanks, Fitz. Thanks for joining. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. I'll make sure to schedule it. We are going to be doing a live stream this weekend, my sister and I. This is the channel Twin One Twin A. So yeah, we're going to be doing a live stream this weekend where we play Resident Evil 5. We did one last weekend and it was super fun. It's our first time ever playing it and we're both babies, so it's fun to play a scary game. Having each other in the co-op mode makes it a lot more bearable. It's definitely not something we could get through on our own. Yeah, you missed the last one. Yeah, definitely tune in for the next one. I'm going to schedule it probably tomorrow, but it'll happen on Saturday. Yeah, good jump scare, yeah. All right, and then we're going in with that royal blue. I'm just going to do 2 big circles, and then I'm going to erase where it overlaps his eyelids. Yeah, no, I just can't even say royal blue without thinking about Jim Carrey and Liar Liar, and it just ruins anytime I say it. I really, I know I see. I just really want. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna continue with that. You guys get it. If you've seen Liar Liar, you know. All right, we're gonna go in with a very small airbrush and this bright aqua color. We're just gonna dust that in underneath his eyes, underneath his pupils. And then I can select that royal color, make it slightly deeper, slightly more purple, and just sort of touch the tops. And then I can go above his eyelashes, and we're gonna do the sparkle in his eyes, which I generally do a similar thing every time I do. I do a medium highlight above the pupil, and then kind of a small highlight towards the bottom center of the pupil, and then a big highlight on the bottom of the eye. And then I back up and I see what I've done. Aw, he's cute. All right, I'm gonna make his eyes even more sparkly though. We're gonna add a couple more dots. Oh god, he's so cute. Okay, we're done with the eyes. Let's go and add some dimension into the skin because his skin's still flat. So we're gonna select that color that I chose and we're gonna make it brighter and kind of more yellow. I'm gonna use that as the highlight shade. I'm gonna take a big airbrush. We're gonna go all over the center of his face and just leave the edges so that the shadow still comes, or it still shows on the edges. And then I can go back to that shadow shade and bring it over the tops of his eyelids, on the edges of his hair where his hair would probably be casting a shadow on his face. And then I'm also going to bring it all over his nose, and then I'm going to re-highlight his nose individually. Yeah, I'm also just going to pound the highlight into his cheeks. Make sure that they're as bright as they probably can be. And then just lightly dust it over the top of the nose, where the light would be hitting it. Aw, he's so cute. Okay, let's create another new layer, and I'm gonna use my pen tool to just create like a hard highlight at the tip of his nose. I'm gonna make it even brighter than that. And then little dots, highlights on his cheeks. I can also go between those two and do my overlay. And then same thing that we did on the last drawing if you were here earlier. We're going to do a super, super pink color, airbrush it on, and it's going to look intense for blush. I even do blush on guys. But then we're going to turn down the opacity so that it's a lot less intense, and then it kind of just makes his skin look like he's alive rather than like he's wearing blush. I'm just gonna softly erase little on the nose. All right, and then we're gonna turn it down to 35. And there, yeah, his skin kind of more so just looks like he's alive. Not quite like he's wearing blush, just enough. Might turn it down just to 28. All right, yeah, that looks good. We can also add in a little bit of a lip tone for him. Then just bringing out the sketch so that I can follow those lines for the top lip. Oop. I want the hard erase, and then I just want to thin out that line a little bit. There we go. All right, sometimes I can be very peculiar. I'm just getting his lip shape exactly the way that I want it. There we go. That looks good. All right, so that's his face pretty much done, and then I can just add on the tiniest little bit of highlight on his calves, and that's his skin. All right, and then I'm going to combine all of those so that we keep ourselves neat. And we can select our bright color straight from our reference photo, so I can have the dark color and the bright color selected. I'm going to airbrush back and forth between them to sort of add dimension to his pants. So first we're going to go with a general, just kind of highlighting the whole front. And then right here where the zipper and like the, you know, the crotch area would be, that's also going to be one of the brighter parts. And then I can go in with that shadow color and sort of add in some detail and take away bright. Yeah, Sora MUA. I mean, I am fully convinced that like Kingdom Hearts characters, whether they're guys or girls, like they're wearing makeup. Excuse me. Like Sora and Riku both have such amazing eyelashes that there's no way that they're not accessorizing with a little bit of mascara. All right, then let's add in just kind of a little seam, a little fly. We're going to make that just a little less dark. A little darker than that. That works. Yeah, Sora's pretty femme. I mean, all of Kingdom Hearts, like it's Disney, it's princesses, it's, you know, it's masculine and it's feminine. It's combat. All right, those are his pockets, and then he's got these like 3 lines, so I'm just gonna add those in. Very basic, not technical at all. And then I can actually make them brighter on the edge. Kind of make it look like they're almost like maybe shiny is the goal. Because yeah, it does sort of here, it definitely looks like it's shiny, like it's kind of almost like a leathery sort of strap detail. All right, and then that's his pants. Pretty much done. I might turn down, yeah, I'm just going to turn those down just a little bit so that they're not so bright. But yeah, I think those are his pants done. Those are really quick. A little drag, yeah, I want to see, because, you know, we got Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they definitely did some drag on Cloud in that, and that was awesome. So yeah, I'm ready for more video game characters and drag. If, like, in Kingdom Hearts 4, I know they wouldn't do it, but if they could somehow give us Cloud and Sora getting into drag together, that would be awesome. Hey, Hedgehog VR, how you doing? Can I do your new puppy? If it's that, then it would be a commission. You can talk to me about that on other social medias. But yeah, if you want any Kingdom Hearts drawing, let me know. And that'll be completely free. But yeah, if it's anything like specific, like your character or anything that's not Kingdom Hearts related, then it's going to be a commission. Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. All right, but I'm just going to airbrush on a little bit of bright color on the top of his sleeves and on his chest area. Again, this is a little maybe brighter than I want, so I'm going to wind up toning it down. But I'm just getting it placed for this second. Where do you go? Same username, but find me on Tumblr is probably the best place, or also Blue Sky. Yeah, no problem. All right, and then Sora's jacket has like this sort of brighter trim, so let's add that on. It'll be super easy. I can just clip it to the layer of his jacket. That way I can't color outside the lines. And then I can just do, probably neater than that. Let's turn the stabilization up. That way if my hand is shaking, it doesn't affect it. But yeah, just one line down there, one line down here. And then across for the trim. There, that's the trim already done. That was super fast. All right, I really don't think we need much more detail than that for his jacket. You know, we could add a little bit of wrinkling, maybe a seam here and there, but I really don't think we need to get that in depth with the Sugar Rush Sora. So let's go straight into the red hoodie. We're going to do the airbrush tool. We're going to select a very bright red to accent this dark red. We're going to pop that on just to the very tops. And then his hoodie sort of has this, like, it's a button down. So there is a seam right there. And then I can sort of sharpen up the edge with the erase tool. All right, and then he's got some buttons, which we can draw on real quick. And yeah, this is coming together really fast. Because yeah, we're at 2.5 hours now. So it really shouldn't take too much longer. We're already mostly through his clothes. We're going to have to do his shoes and his hair. Which hair, I mean, you guys saw me do. It doesn't take that long. And shoes, I don't have a reference for. In this photo, he's barefoot, and there's really not a great photo that I could find of his shoes. So we're just going to make it up, and they're basically just going to be yellow and black. All right, and then just really small airbrush, just adding a little dimension onto those buttons. Perfect. Yeah, big... I know, I feel like they're slowly also making his shoes more and more, like, realistic sized, and they need to stop. They need to make them bigger and bigger. And then just keep going bigger. Yeah, no, it's funny because I've always heard that Sora had clown shoes. Like, you know, that's something that people say. But only once I started drawing Sora did I realize, like, no, legit. Like, they're clown shoe shaped. You can't draw his shoes without drawing the clown shoe shape. I don't know why that, like, that struck a chord with me. That, like, holy crap, he really is wearing clown shoes. Like, it's not a joke. It's just the facts. Yeah. Yeah, the sheriff. Okay, yeah. If any of you guys have seen Scary Movie 3, there's a scene with the sheriff where every time it cuts back and forth between her and the other character, every time it cuts back to her, her hat's bigger. And that's what they need to do. That's what they need to do with Sora. Every time they show him, his shoes are just slightly bigger. All right, so that's his jacket. All right, what are we on? His cuffs, those are done. All right, let's go into the shoes. So yeah, shoes. In my sketch, I sort of did this like little outline of where the yellow would be. So I'm going to use my sketch to lay that on right now. And then we can also draw soles to sort of differentiate the color. And yeah, his shoes in Kingdom Hearts 4, this is based on his Kingdom Hearts 4 design, but yeah, his shoes may very well wind up looking different than this. This is kind of just off the top of my head what I think general Sora shoes look like. Done. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely go check it out after I'm done with this stream. All right, let's pick out a bright color. Sorry, no. Let's pick out a dark color and do his soles real quick. Just slightly different than the dark part of his shoes. A little brighter than that. All right, and then I need to add a little bit of dimension to that yellow, so I'm going to lock it. We're going to select it, and then I'm going to make it brighter. We're going to use the airbrush to just pop a little on the center of that one, and then the top of this one. And then you get a little bit of dimension. I can do the same thing now with the dark part of his shoes. I'm going to select it and then just make it a little brighter. And also a little bit more gray. And then I can hit the top of the shoes, and that'll also add in a little bit of dimension. And then because I imagine the little shoe tongue being here, I'm going to add in some lines just to help sort of sell that idea. All right, but I think that's pretty much all we got to do with his shoes. Again, like Sugar Rush Sora, we're not going too far into detail. So I think we can call that about done for the shoes. Let's see, on his soles, I can add in a little bit of dimension with a brighter gray. There, that works. That looks good. All right, so let's combine all of that. And then the last thing we got on him is his hair. So that was a really, really fast character. I mean, you know, there's not much detail, but still, he's almost done. So let's select his hair. I'm going to clip it to his hair. That way I can't color outside the lines. We're going to do sort of a darker color for the roots, and I'm going to airbrush that on right on the top of his head where his roots would be. It's barely different than the color that we already had on, but it's going to make it look just a little bit more shadowed. And then I can select a bright color from the reference photo. That's kind of a little bit more light than I want, so I'm just going to change the tone a little bit until I'm happy with it there. I think I'm happy with that. All right, so yeah, he's got like these 3 spikes here. He usually also has 3 spikes right above that, so I'm going to do those spikes first. And then yeah, these are just going to be laid in solid, and then I can always lock them to add in dimension afterwards. Right, and then I can start doing the spikes that are coming up here, since they're kind of coming from the same bit of roots right here. Yeah, I'm basically going to be working on the hair in layers, starting with the topmost layer, and then he's got a lot of like spiky layers, so I'm going to work my way down towards the ones on the bottom. All right, and then that's enough for right now. Let's lock it, and then I can brush in a dark color towards the roots to make it look like it's really coming out of his head. I'm just going to softly work that. Keep the tips bright, that way you don't lose all of that color that you just did. But it really helps add the dimension. Alright, and then we can do the exact same thing again on another layer. So yeah, these are his main bangs. So this is like the major three. Oh, what's going on here? Alright, you see how right here it's cutting off? Like right... I think that's an issue with my tablet, actually. So let me just undo a little bit and get that fixed up. Because, yeah, I just don't like that harsh line being there. I want them to taper. Alright. We're going to work around it. There, that'll work. So yeah, let's continue laying in some more spikes that maybe are in front of the ones that are in the back. And then I can lock that, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to lay in that darker color towards the root. And then, yeah, once I'm done with Sora's hair, all I gotta do is just finish laying in these spikes, and then we can add the pop of shine to his hair. But yeah, once his hair is done, that'll be it for Sora, and then we can get started on the actual go-kart, which will be, like I said, very chocolatey. We've got some references that we can pull from, like Toffee and Brigadeiro, I think was the name of it. I have it on Google right now that we can look at. Alright, but yeah, I'm basically just filling out the rest of his hair, making it look like no spot was forgotten. That's it for that layer, so I can, for the last time on that one, brush in the dark root color, and then we can go down to the layer that's behind his skin and do the same thing there. And then his hair will be almost done. But yeah, no, I'm really curious since they've changed Sora's hair so much in this style, you know, this like swooping thing that's going on. It's just really different for Sora. I really wonder what they would do with like a redesign of like Ven or Roxas. You know, those are the characters. You know, Sora doesn't really need new hair, but Ven and Roxas, they do need to have different hair from each other. So I would like to see them give them new hairstyles. Yeah, I feel like one of them definitely could have used this hairstyle. Alright, guys, I messed up. Hold on. We're gonna fix it. Hold on. It's gonna take a second. Just 1 second more, we're gonna fix it. So what I did was I combined a layer. Yes, alright. Yes, I combined this layer. And I laid in this dark root color. I just didn't touch it to this side of his head. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just fixing that up. It bothered me, so we're gonna fix it real quick. It means we gotta redo just the back part of his hair, but that's real fast. Takes just a minute. sometimes I combine layers and realize, like, I shouldn't have. Sometimes I still need to go back and edit a detail of something, and that's that's the unfortunate part of trying to keep it neat by combining layers, but luckily I hadn't gone too far. Alright, and then there's just this one spike being forgotten about. Just this one right here. And we don't want him to feel left out. Hey Fitz, yeah, glad you're back. Yep, coming along good. Sora's pretty much complete, actually. Just gotta add a little bit of shine onto his hair. And then, yeah, I'm basically just focusing this highlight around the sort of center of his roots. And then I'm not going to bring it anywhere else. I don't really think it needs to be anywhere else. But that's a little bright, so let's tone it down. And maybe make it slightly more yellow. Alright, I like that tone, so I'm going to color drop there, bring the opacity back up, and then bucket it. Alright, but that's Sora. So now we're gonna start on the actual go-kart, which I've got sketched out. So let me combine Sora all onto one layer, that way we keep it neat. And then his cart is behind him. Which this I can do with a lot. I don't really draw when I draw things like these. I usually use tools like the curve tool and the continuous line tool. They help out a lot with kind of more architectural shapes like this. Yeah, so let's select a nice dark chocolatey color because this is going to be a chocolate cart. Let's see, let me do the curve. We're going to go here to here, and we're going to make this line slightly curved. We're going to go here to here and do a curve there too. And then sort of connect this to marry it all together. And then we can just do straight lines going up. And yeah, I don't think I've really drawn a car in, like, now that I'm trying to think of when the last time I drew a car was. It was probably in high school, so it's been a long time. I took an autos class in high school, and my teacher quickly found out that I did not know anything about cars, and I wasn't interested in learning anything about cars, but I was interested in drawing, so he had me draw the cars instead. And he would grade me on it, and it was actually really cool. All right, and then we're just going to connect this back here. Oop. Went a little overboard there. Just don't want to go outside the lines. All right, but just want to get that all filled in. So then that's the basic body of the car shape. And then we can get like a little seaty, like what do they call that? Like a little driver pit where they sit in the car. Do they just call that? They just probably call that the driver's seat. We're gonna put in the driver's seat. Which actually I can do with a circle tool. And then on top of that, I can put sort of like the top of the seat where the headrest might be. I mean, you know, for his gigantic bobblehead. This headrest would never work, but we're gonna draw it anyways. His head's just way too big for it. Let's go with more of a dark, deep color for it. And then we can airbrush on some highlights, make it look like almost luxe and chocolatey. All right, I'm trying to do like little seams here. Just got to get the angle right. There, that looks good. So let's see. On this car, let's add some texture, kind of like it's a brownie. So to do that, I'm going to do this running color spray, and we're going to do a very dark brown. It's kind of, and like basically my hope is that it looks like the pores and the sort of cakey texture of a brownie. Actually, you know what? I think this would work better if we did the reverse. So let's make this the dark color, and then we're gonna do the running color spray with the light color, and I think that'll help the effect. Alright, yeah, because there it's already looking just a little bit more cakey. A little bit more like fluffy, pory. Those might not be good words to describe cake, but you get it. Weight of the Dawn is way better than Braveheart. Is Braveheart Riku's Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 3? Is that the name of it? Because if so, I 100% agree. I mean, yeah, let me know if that's what you're talking about. Because if that is, then I got things to say about his Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 3. The fact that Shadow Heartless just broke the Keyblade? Yeah, no, I mean, what was that? That was stupid. Especially, like, if the Realm of Darkness was going to be so dangerous, why didn't Sora go? Why didn't Riku and Mickey and Sora and Donald and Goofy all go together? Why did Sora and Donald and Goofy go to other worlds if the power of waking was inside of him all along? All right, how is this looking to you guys? Do you guys think this is looking like a piece of brownie so far? I mean, I think it can work. Yeah, story developers hadn't thought of it yet. All right, let's add some drizzle. So, the person that requested this kind of asked for toffee sauce, which I think is just kind of like a caramel sauce. So we're gonna do like sort of this dark caramely color. I'm gonna choose kind of a thicker pen. I'm gonna kind of take inspiration from my Starbucks days when I was a barista. We're gonna kind of caramel macchiato this stuff. Do like a little back and forth. And then kind of hatching the opposite way. And then just over here where I kind of went over the edges, we're gonna erase to sort of fix that up. Yeah, caramel, yup, yeah. Yeah, no, this is honestly the part of the cart that I've been most excited about because I knew this caramel was coming. Yeah, no, I'm excited to make it look like, you know, actually gooey and three-dimensional and saucy. Because, yeah, right now it's just flat colors, but it's going to get even better. Yeah, no, it was funny. There was a lot of people at Starbucks when I worked there that would order like caramel macchiatos and caramel macchiato frappuccinos. And they would order just like they would tell you extra caramel, and then they would stand there as you made it to watch you put the caramel on. And if you didn't put enough caramel on, they would like stand there and tell you like, no more caramel before you make the drink, put more caramel. Like you wouldn't even be allowed to put the drink in the cup yet. They would ask you to put more caramel sauce inside the cup before you put the drink in there. Yeah, facts. Yeah, no, I know. I know you know. Just give them the whole bottle. I know, really. Like, yeah, just honestly, just you want to squirt like, like what is it, hibachi restaurants where they just squirt the sauce into your mouth from across the table. Like that's me with the with the caramel bottle. I swear. All right, let's add in a little bit of highlight. So I'm gonna select sort of a yellow tone, and we're gonna go back to a regular airbrush, and we're just gonna go kind of to the tops of each of these sort of drizzle lines. People at BK with mayo or ketchup, yeah. Well, yeah, no, it's funny. I get food from McDonald's, and I have a feeling that they have a lot of customers like that because, yeah, I'll get food from McDonald's, and you know, I'll ask for mayonnaise on a burger that might not come with mayonnaise, and you know, like that's all it is. It's just like the burger doesn't come with mayonnaise, so I'm asking for it. But I don't know if it's because I asked for it, but they just drown it in mayonnaise, and it's like, okay, I wanted mayonnaise. I didn't want to drink it. Like, just wanted it on my burger. Yeah, no, literally Stephanie saying the same thing in the comments. McDonald's, when nobody asked for that much sauce. Yeah, they destroy your sandwich. Yeah. It's their favorite thing to do. Sometimes their obsession. Alright, but yeah, I'm just using the airbrush to add a little bit of dimension onto each one of these little drizzles. And then I'm going to go on with like sort of a bright highlight to kind of make them look like they're shiny and kind of sugary. But yeah, this is already coming along pretty fast. This is already one layer. This is like sort of the one hatching one way. And then we can get to the one that hatches the other way. Yeah, you wanted no ketchup? Guess that means you wanted 8 tablespoons of mustard. Alright, so yeah, what would have made this easier is if I would have done these two drizzles on different layers. Because yeah, what I'm seeing now that I'm doing this crosshatch is that it is showing through the drizzle that I just did. So there's just a minor touch-up that's going to have to be done. But yeah, so I'm just making it so that you kind of don't see both highlights as they cross over each other, if that makes sense. The drizzles are not on different layers. I know I really should have probably had them on different layers. The next time I draw caramel drizzle, I'll know. Okay, but yeah, no, erasing that does create the effect that I want. So I'm happy with that. Just got to do the same thing real quick up here. Alright, what did I just do? Alright, gotta erase. Sometimes I just have to remind myself what I just did so that I make sure I erase the right thing. Lost in the caramel sauce, yeah, very. Honestly, like this, I already kind of have like a low-key obsession with drawing drinks and cocktails, like, you know, Kingdom Hearts, drinks and cocktails. For some reason, two things I really like to draw. But yeah, no, I have never drawn, at least digitally, I've never drawn like a frappuccino or anything like with whipped cream and caramel sauce, and now I'm thinking I should definitely do that. All right, so that's all of the sauce kind of airbrushed, and now I'm just going to go in with the pen and just add a couple of highlights in some key spots. And that way I'm hoping it'll look really saucy. They're going to be like sort of this bright white, but I might make them more yellow in just a second here. Yeah, I'm just going to be fast and loose first. That way I can kind of get the idea and see if I'm liking it or not. Which so far I think I'm liking it. Let me change it to more of a yellow now. Yeah, I think that definitely helped. And yeah, because it's saucy and it's goopy and stuff, I don't think I have to be that neat with it, which helps. All right, and then just gonna touch this kind of layer of drizzles technically underneath, so it's not gonna have as many highlights, but I just want to make sure that it's not forgotten about. I want to touch it in just a couple spots. All right, but I think that's the caramel drizzle pretty much done. So let's see, what have I got left to do? Still got to do the wheels. Let's go back. I want to look at that Brigadeiro real quick. So yeah, this is the Brigadeiro. It kind of looks like chocolate sprinkles all kind of cramped together, like onto a chocolate. Which kind of goes in line with the Reese's cup idea that I was going to do for the wheels. Let's see, I can add in some circles, some very, very dark chocolatey circles. Actually, let's lock it so that it's actually a circular shape. All right, and then I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it onto the layer behind the car. That way I have the other set of wheels and I don't have to try very hard to do it. And then we are just going to have to make them just a little bit smaller, since the perspective back there would make them just a little bit smaller. I think about there looks good. And then I am going to copy and paste these wheels one more time, but I'm going to keep them right underneath. I'm going to make them just a little bit darker. And I'm going to bring them just a little bit over. And that way it sort of gives that 3D effect. All right, and then behind those wheels, I can also lay in where the spoiler is going to be. See, I did put a little spoiler here. Let's do our lasso tool. I can, or not our lasso tool, our select tool. I can just poly select this whole rectangle here and then bucket it in. And then also add in just 2 little quick lines, and that's a spoiler. I'm also going to put that behind the car, but in front of the wheels that are behind it, and that way that spoiler sits right between. All right, so that's where we're at right now, and I gotta be honest, guys, I'm feeling just a little bit tired. I think I might want to be calling it there. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm probably gonna finish up this car off stream. It's pretty much almost done, and then the background will just be a little bit of, you know, a basic background. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna finish up this piece off stream, and then I'm gonna post it so you guys can all see it. All right, then you Tumblr message me. All right, cool. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really enjoyed doing this live stream. I'm going to do another one real soon based off of more of your guys' Kingdom Hearts suggestions. Yeah, definitely tune in for the finished product. Yeah, again, thank you guys so much. We're going to call it there. See you next time. Bye.